Warren Buffett usually stays within his circle of competence, but when it comes to a company like Google, he and Charlie Munger said, "We blew it." This is the real story of what happened with Berkshire Hathaway, how they saw Google's firsthand success, and how they missed one of the best investments of all time. And if you guys follow the channel, you guys know that I only use tools that I actually think are helpful for investors to actually start investing and learning the process. And Moomoo is one of the best beginner platforms that I've seen. With Moomoo, you get free level 2 market data. This is normally costing money on many platforms. You get real-time quotes, you get full desktop charting, and you also get a really clean app that's easy to get started. And for 3 months, you can capitalize on the 8.1% APY on the uninvested cash that you have in the brokerage. Additionally, if you deposit $100, you'll get $20 of Nvidia stock, $50 if you deposit $2,000, $300 if you deposit $10,000, $1,000 if you deposit $50,000. So take charge of your trading up to $1,000 of Nvidia stock at 8.1% APY. I'll put the link down in the description if you guys are interested. Hey guys, it's Matthew here, and I break down personal finance and investing and in a very simple way. Now let's dive straight into Buffett Google, why he's buying Google today with Berkshire Hathaway, and the biggest investing regrets of Berkshire Hathaway's history. Let's not waste any time and get straight into it. Now here's what most people don't know. Buffett said that Geico, which is the company that has the green lizard that sells you car insurance, which Berkshire Hathaway does own, they were paying $10 or $11 per click to Google ads. Buffett wasn't guessing. He literally saw Google's business model working inside Geico. So the amount of money that Geico was spending on Google ads alone was already substantial enough for him to raise a flag and say, wow, that's a lot of money. And in a 2019 meeting, Charlie Munger opened admittedly, and they said that they messed up big time. They messed up big time by saying that we saw how Google worked for Geico and we just sat there sucking our thumbs. This was straight from Charlie Munger, and this was no speculation at all. Now, Buffett also admitted to missing Google, and he said that that was a mistake. Buffett said multiple times that he understood Google's business model because of Geico, and he still didn't buy the stock. So they missed out on Google even though they knew the business well because of Berkshire Hathaway's Geico insurance unit advertised within the search engine. And he didn't have the excuse of not understanding it. He literally saw the economics firsthand. Here's why Buffett passed on the stock, passed on Google. He had a tech bias. Buffett really avoided tech for decades, and after mistakes in his 90s, he really wanted to stay away from tech. Now, Buffett questioned how durable Google's dominance would be. He saw Google skip past Alta Vista and wondered if someone could skip past Google just as quickly as somebody skipped past Alta Vista. Now, there was durability uncertainty within the Google stock when it comes to Warren Buffett's analysis. He didn't want a long-term play in a tech platform where he thought that there was going to be a potential overturn, but he actually saw the evidence in his face that Google was a great company. Now, here's what investors can learn from Warren Buffett's example here. I think that Google is a perfect example of this investing principle. Sometimes your best investments come from businesses that you already interact with or use with. Now, Geico understood the entire Google's business model and saw the value instantaneously. Buffett later admitted that he would have paid attention or should have paid attention to the signals inside of his own company. And it seems that today, Warren Buffett is buying Berkshire Hathaway. He does reveal a position in Alphabet, which is the parent company of Google. Within Berkshire Hathaway's filing, they actually state that this is the 10th largest equity of the end of September. They decided to buy $4.3 billion worth of Alphabet at the end of the quarter. Now, this is a sizable position, being a top 10 position for Berkshire Hathaway. So let's break it down. Now, if you look at the biggest owners of Berkshire Hathaway's portfolio, we can see that there's many players here. He does like finance, and he does like Apple for being one of them, being at 22% of his portfolio. Large Apple shareholder here. Then there's other companies like American Express, Bank of America, Coca-Cola, some energy companies here, more finance companies as well. And then you finally get to Google here. So Google being at about 1.6% of his portfolio, making up $4.3 billion. And this is a brand new position for Warren Buffett as well. But is Google a buy today? Did Buffett make a good decision in buying Google today? Let's break it down. Now, Google is a company trading at $277, and they're growing way faster than you would think. A lot of people think that Google was a dead company, that OpenAI's ChatGPT would replace Google search. But it's actually the opposite. Google search and other has seen growth in the trailing 12 months of 12%. 12% in their biggest revenue generating place is actually very substantial. They're actually growing in other avenues as well. Google Cloud has been growing at 30% year over year. Google subscriptions, platform devices have grown at 16%. YouTube ads, what you're watching this video on, is growing at 13%. And there's other smaller plays that are kind of stagnant, like the Google network and other bets, possibly new ventures, maybe Waymo, but there's also other bets that they're putting the basket into. But nonetheless, Google's core business is doing extremely well. You can see that their year-over-year revenue growth is about 13%. And if you do look at how much earnings they bring in, you can see that their net income also grows at 31%. So while being a dominant player in Google search and having this entire great advertising and subscriptions business, where is Google valued today? When you're buying Google stock, you're buying a company with a PE ratio of 27, a forward PE ratio of 26, a very healthy company with a current ratio of 1.75, meaning they have enough on their sheets to cover all of their debts. You're getting a return on invested capital of 20%. A 20% return on invested capital is substantial, very great for many companies. This is what companies aspire to be. Now, I certainly love the Google business model and I use Google every single day. So I don't think this company is going anywhere anytime soon, to say the least. But I'm curious, let's put Google into a reverse DCF. So let's backtrack and see what growth rates will Google grow at and what returns will that mean for the stock. If we see, like we have been in the past couple of years, where you see Google earnings grow at 30% due to the insane amount of growth that they have in search and advertising, then let's say they keep this growth for the next 5 years. Let's do a 5-year DCF. A 5-year DCF with an earnings growth of 30%, saying that they keep everything the same. Growth rate's the same. Their cash conversion is going to be the same at about 60%. And I think that Google should be worth a PE, a price earnings ratio of 25. With a discount rate of 12%, you can see that Google's fair value should be about 600, which is a 50% discount from where it is today. But let's say Google can't ever keep its market share and they actually just grow at half as fast. Let's say they grow at 15% in the next 5 years. You still get a company that should be worth $323 today, which is 14% under its fair value. The IRR, or the rate of return that you're seeking as an investor, should be about 15%. You are still getting that 15% return on investment every single year if you are buying Google stock today. So regardless of where the earnings growth goes, if you look on the bearish side of 15% or the high side of 30%, you can see that there is still substantial gains to be made. So Warren Buffett buying Berkshire Hathaway reveals that he is actually capitalizing on the value that he saw years ago, taking advantage today because he sees that this company can grow. And I truly believe it as well. Now, in my public portfolio here, you can see that I have a very large Google position here. I'm up about 70% and my current value is about $28,000 in the portfolio. Of that, we're up about $11,000. And I want to hold Google probably for the rest of my life. Google is one of these companies that you just want to keep buying of. You want to water the flowers and trim the weeds. Google is definitely a flower. So I definitely want to keep adding to this position as long as I'm able to get dips within the company. Now I'm very happy with the performance of Google and I intend to hold this company for years. So yes, Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger had a front row seat of Google's insane business model and they still passed. But at least they admit their mistakes openly. And it seems that Warren Buffett today is capitalizing on those mistakes in the past and correcting himself to buy the stock today. Are you a Google shareholder? Do you believe in Google's business model? And what do you think of Warren Buffett's new addition to Berkshire Hathaway's portfolio? Let me know in the comments down below and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.